Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today we are doing something slightly different, and that is an office tour because it's been highly requested and it's clean at the moment, so let's document that before it gets messy again. I think I've mentioned it a bit on videos before, but I don't actually have an enclosed space. This is just a nook off of our living area, which is that way. So I have this little area that I'm very proud of how it's looking, but I would love one day to have an enclosed space, but I'm very grateful for having an extra space in our house. So this is my main desk area, and then we've got some shelving up here, and then my reading corner over here, and then craft supplies over here, and my dog that you guys have heard quite often in the background of my videos, Octavia. So that is my sweet girl, and she is a little bit clingy today because we are having a bit of a storm, so you won't tell that by how sunny it is outside, but the wind is very high, so she might make some noises in the background of this video just because she's a little bit stressed. So on this side here is very obviously where I film, where I keep all my supplies for filming and journaling, and then we have like an office area or a computer area, and then crafting table. Underneath we have Octavia's bed that she uses when she's in here because she cannot cope to be away from me for too long. And yeah, so I thought we could start probably at the top and work our way down. So up here I have a whole bunch of washi tapes, stamps, new pens that I got, more washi tapes. I keep my Tombows up there. They were here, but every time I filmed I had to move them, so I've just stored them there for now. We'll see if that works. I don't reach for them as often as I used to, so we'll see. And then yeah, just in these drawers here we've got stamp, inks, stencils, crafting supplies that are very small. So up there is my watercolor palette, or one of them. So yeah, that area is where I sort of wanted that real estate to be, where I reach for supplies frequently, because I did actually have my journals there and I felt like it was just a waste of space. Next to it I have most of my printer papers that aren't natural printer paper. So we've got the sticker papers in different types. We've got my normal one, we've got washi sticker paper, we've got clear sticker paper, matte vinyl sticker paper, that kind of thing. Then we've got craft paper that I sometimes print on, watercolor paper, cardstock, and then laminating pouches. And this is where I keep all my clear acrylic stamps, or sorry, silicone stamps. And then that's where I'm storing boxes from 𝓤𝓲𝓷𝓼, and here is my 2026 reading journal. This is a very helpful recipe book for people who have allergies. I am gluten intolerant and I should eat more gluten-free foods, so this will help me bake things in that way so I can still enjoy them. And then over here we've just got the remainder of some pens. I've got paint pens up there, all my journals that I've used, and then just some miscellaneous craft and office supplies up there. We've got cricket mats to go with my cricket machine here, and then just this corkboard where I just store random stuff on it. I do keep some of my stencils that I use quite frequently, so see the circle one, and then this one I have nice and easy to reach, and then just some supplies that I like to keep in this bag up there. Mostly it's just like mostly it's just sticker paper cut-offs. I like to have them for mistakes, and just some other miscellaneous things in there that I really do need to sort through. But otherwise, that is that area up there. And while we're still standing, we've got my new reading area, which I'm very, very happy with. I've got a Lazy Girl Kindle set up here. Over here we've got my Kindle and its little stand, some page turners, and just a pop socket or phone grip that I stick on the back if I'm not using the attachment to the windowsill there. So this has come really in handy recently, and I've really enjoyed it. Over here we have craft supplies. A lot of yarn is just throughout this office, and so I can't really go into what's in these because it's all just not organized yet. That was the one thing I didn't get to, these two shelves yesterday. So this is a cardigan that I'm working on and I haven't finished yet, and then a whole bunch of other crafting supplies. This is just stickers and other little bits and pieces. Of course, when I'm talking to myself, she grabs a toy. I should say that I'm talking to you guys, not myself. Anyway, that is all my loose paper in there. I don't really have a space for it somewhere else. And then here we have more craft supplies. Again, not going to go through them because they're very messy. Down there is where I keep my paper pads that are smaller. That's painting supplies. That's HTV or iron-on vinyl. And then I've got my permanent vinyl all up in here. Just got some bits and bobs. I've got cutting tools up here, a guillotine and a couple of page trimmers, and then just my scrapbooking materials. This is where I store everything that I receive from bookish people. I like to have like a memory keeping space. So yeah, and then obviously I have a lot of supplements I need to take, so I keep them there. And then yeah, this is the desk area. Obviously there's more medication on the desk because I am unfortunately someone who needs to take quite a bit. And then just got little bits and bobs over here. Like I said, this is the crafting desk, so I have my Cricut here, and I just like to keep this space clean as much as I can. Yesterday it was very, very messy, but let's get into this side because I know that you guys are really interested in my pen stash. So quite a lot of the time people ask me where I get these modular acrylic cases from. I got them from Kmart, so Australia and New Zealand people can easily access these. I'm sure you can find something similar online in your country or region. Yeah, these are really, really handy. I went ahead and labelled them with my Cricut. I made labels for it so I could put all my pens away. This is my core pen section. These are the ones that I use the most. We do have some at the back there as well, and then these I use for like when I'm doing watercolors or something. They just tend to sit at the back there, and then I've got a stand there for filming, but otherwise this corner here is just pens. Up here is where I store the things that I'm working on, so journal pieces that I need, and then I've also got my double-sided tape rolls because you guys know I don't use a tape runner. I always run through them way too fast, so I find that those last me a bit longer. That's my 2026 reading planner, so I just stored it there so I'm ready for next year because it's already mapped out. We've got my other journals in the corner there. They're the ones that I'm using on a daily basis, and then just a little miscellaneous container of glues, some stamp, what is it called, stamp cleaner, and other little bits and bobs in there, and then my alphabet stamps are there. And then this caddy here is what I use very often, and I've grouped it into most used items together. So over here is the pens that I'm currently using for my layouts, whether it be my 2026 pens, those ones there, or we've got my November setup, and then we've got October ones still in here, just the pens that I'm currently using so I know where they are. And then I've also got a couple of white pens in here, like white gel pens, just in case I need them. And then I always keep my two Journal Junkie pens in here because they are used daily. In here we've got some tape correction and a corner rounder and a pencil sharpener. And then at the back here is where I store all my my key colors for my journals. So these are my star rating colors, and these ones here are for a project that I still need to finish, so I just put them there. And then we have a rotary cutter in here for other crafting. And then at the back here is just where I store all my Cricut supplies and my favorite pair of scissors. So they're all together in there. And then when I'm not using this, because I pull it down quite often when I'm journaling, I just put it back up here where it belongs. And then we've also got some sellotape, this little container full of little clips for when I'm using in my journal and I need to hold the page down. Also some hair ties because I'm always looking for them, and this is a small roll of double-sided tape. I have some resin coasters that I made because I like to store my drinks off my desk, so I just have them there just in case I need to put one down here. And then this is rulers, scissors, yeah, just other miscellaneous things, my watercolor brush, just little things like that. We've got a container here of pens that I don't use nearly as much, but I still like to have them there. And then I have all my little tools here that I like to use frequently. This is for the Cricut. It helps when you weed things. And then this is my core, like, go-to fineliner section. So I've got my Tombow Fudonosuke's, I've got my Pitt artist pens, my microns, my Staedtler Tri-Plus, no, not Tri-Plus, what are they, pigment markers. Yeah, so they're all there. Erasers. This is very handy to have, white washi tape. So yeah, I have that all in reach, and then obviously my 5-star stamp and ink pad there. And then underneath we have my paper pad stash, and then these are exceptionally dirty, so I haven't cleaned them out yet and organized. As you can see, it's just office supplies, so we won't go through there today. So under here is where I store my desk vacuum, my earbuds, and then my current 2025 Piner, and just a little notebook that I jot down thoughts into really quickly. In here I just store more random stuff that I haven't sorted, and then here is all my tabs because I use them in my journal and also my reading books a lot. And then that's pretty much it for the desk. Oh, down here I have printer paper, and then also my gel pens because I like to keep them stored out of the light as much as possible. And then some stuff that I can't really reach because of Octavia's bed being underneath here now that I've got my reading chair. So I think that is it for the office tour. I hope that this is a lot less shaky, though considering I have a shaky hand, I do apologize. I've been waiting for my tripod to arrive, and unfortunately it has not. So we had to go with me holding the camera today. But yeah, this is my little creation station. I'm really happy with it. You guys see this view quite often. This is just a cardstock with some vinyl on top, because I found that this desk here goes very yellow orange when I have the overhead lights on, so I wanted to try and limit that. But this is where I film everything for you guys, and now you can see where everything is that I reach for. And this area here becomes absolutely chaotic because I just dump everything here because I'm trying to keep this area as clean as possible, but we all know that I'm not a clean creator. And yeah, that is it. I think that's all we'll say today. There's me. And until we next meet, I hope you have fun reading and journaling, and I hope you've enjoyed this very quick tour into my little office, and I'll see you in a new video very soon. Bye everyone.